Hello friends, welcome to my channel Simple Gardening. Today in this video, we will be discussing a complete guide on growing chili, also called as peppers. Before moving on into the video, let me ask you a question. Is chili a fruit or a vegetable? I'll be telling the answer at the end of the video. Meanwhile, you can guess the answer. The origin of chili plant is from South America. But today, every part of the world is cultivating chili and is using in its culinary purposes. Chili plant is a close relative to tomatoes, potatoes, and eggplant, as this all comes under Solanaceae family, and these are also called as nightshade plants. Okay, let us see the seed starting process. Basically, it's not required to soak chili seeds. You can directly sow it either in seed trays or else in small pots, or else even you can directly sow into the main container. Until and unless you are growing in a field or else you are growing in land, it's not required to grow seedlings in cups or seed trays. Usually the seeds take 7 to 10 days for germination under 25 degrees to 28 degrees temperatures. Once the seeds are germinated and the seedlings attain 1 inch to 2 inch of its size, then it's time to apply fertilizer. You can go for liquid fertilizers or else any sort of organic fertilizer. Basically, I prefer organic mode of growing my vegetables, so I never go for chemical fertilizers. Here you can see I'm dusting the fertilizer all around the plant, and some of the fertilizer is being fallen onto the plant. If it is chemical fertilizer, the plant will completely scorched away. Since this is organic fertilizer, there is no need to worry whether the plants get scorched because of organic fertilizer falling upon the leaf. However, while irrigating, you can just dust it off. And here I have used my homemade organic fertilizer 18, 16, 14 of NPK. Since this fertilizer feeds my plant for 30 days, that will be sufficient till the plants are ready for transplantation. Now the seedlings had attained almost 7 to 8 inches of length, and these are ready to go for transplantation. However, I have fed with liquid fertilizer, seaweed fertilizer, since the temperatures were not congenial, so I had waited for another 10 days. Now the seedlings have attained its full length, which are very much ready for transplantation. And while you are transplanting the seedlings, please ensure that you are selecting a healthy seedling which doesn't have any sort of diseases or pest pressure upon that. The best thing about chili plant is it doesn't have any sort of a particular space specifications for transplantation. It can be transplanted in a minimal of 8-inch diameter pot, or else you can grow 3 to 4 plants in a 16-inch diameter pot. So size of the pot doesn't matter for growing chili plants. However, you get a very good yield either you grow it in an 8-inch pot or else in a 16-inch pot. If you observe any type of leaf curl while you are transplanting the seedlings, it's better to eliminate that sort of seedlings, because it's called as leaf curl disease and it will not be cured so easily. So better to avoid that plant and select healthy plants for transplantation. And if it is required, if your area is prevailing with high winds, better go for some sort of staking using some cages, or else you can just use a stick and tie the plant so that the plant will not be harmed by winds. Within a period of 25 to 30 days, chili plants start to flower. Basically, these flowers are self-pollinated. It doesn't require any sort of insects or bees to pollinate them. And the best thing about chilies is the more number of harvests you do, the more number of flowers the plant will produce. Once the flowers are pollinated, the pollinated flowers turn into a small budding fruit. And as the days pass on, within 25 to 30 days of time, the fruit will be matured and ripened. And the signal for ripening is the green color chili turns into red color. Some people prefer green chilies and some people prefer red chilies. However, it has its own unique taste. Though chili plant is a hardy plant, it has its own pests and diseases. From its pest, fruit borer is the most challenging pest. The adult moth lays the egg on young fruits, and once the egg is hatched, the larvae bores into the fruit and eat away all the inside seeds and flesh, making the fruit curl. The second pest is Podoptera. It feeds only during the night, and in the day it goes into the soil. And when the infestation is high, it not only feeds the leaf but also it feeds the fruit. Third pest is sucking pest. I'll discuss about sucking pest later. And these are the diseases. This plant is completely infested with wilt and it's completely withered away. The second important disease is the leaf curl. Leaf curl is majorly caused by sucking pest. The insect suck the sap from the leaf and it makes the plant to curl its leaf. And the third important disease is leaf spot. Basically, leaf spot is caused because of bacterial infection. And due to high humidity also, the leaf spot disease will be formed. The fourth important disease is the fruit rot. This is caused by anthracnose. Now let us see how to protect our plants from pests and diseases. As an organic gardener, I prefer only organic bioproducts. And azadirachtin, so called as neem oil, falls under one of the best organic product, which is a broad spectrum pesticide. It not only controls pest, it also controls diseases also. So I had taken 2.5 ml for 1 liter of water, and we have to spray very well onto the leaf, both for either for diseases or else for the pest. It will be very much effectively controlled. So here I am spraying on my leaf curl affected chili plant. So what we have to do is we have to drench the plant on both the surfaces very well. Since the diseases will not be controlled effectively with a single spray, so what we have to do is in a period of week, we have to go for 2 sprayings so that the new leaf will not be affected by the disease. Even the pest will be controlled by spraying neem oil. Always remember, you have to spray your plants either during the early hours or else late hours of the day. But you should never spray your plants during the noon. Coming to the watering schedules, chilies like water a lot. So it is better to irrigate your chili plant before the plant asks for water. If you are growing your plants in containers during the summers, it's required to irrigate at least once in a day. And in winters, I irrigate twice a week. And if it's hot, I'll be irrigating once in 2 days. So when you irrigate, you have to irrigate at least 1 inch of water, which means the complete pot has to be soaked with water. Not only the superficial layers, if it is moist, it's not sufficient. The whole pot should be moist. And always ensure after watering, please remove the fallen off leaf or any sort of debris from the pot. Chili plants are heavy feeders. So we have to ensure that we are supplying a regular dose of nutrition to the plants for better fruit production. I support organic farming and I use only organic products as fertilizer or else for pesticides also. So here I am using fish fertilizer, kelp solution and Panchagavya. I'll be just rotating these 3 fertilizers whenever required, and apart from this I apply my homemade organic fertilizer 18, 16, 14 NPK. If you prefer Panchagavya, we have to take 30 ml of Panchagavya in 1 liter of solution, and it's better to go for soil drenching with Panchagavya than going for spraying. There are 2 types of feeding the plants. One is, this is soil drenching. You can directly mix your fertilizer in water and pour it into the container. It acts as a nutrition as well as it keeps the soil moist and it supplies the required nutrition to the plant. Since Panchagavya can't be sprayed until and unless you completely strain it, because it contains some small particles which might obstruct the nozzle. And the second one is fish fertilizer. This fish fertilizer is also completely organic. I use 2 ml of fish fertilizer in 1 liter of water, and I'll show you the second process of fertilizing the plant, that is through leaf. The previous one is feeding the plant through the roots, and the second process is feeding the plants through the leaves. As I said in my previous videos, that feeding of the plant can be done even through the leaf, as the leaf contains stomata. The nutrition will be absorbed through the stomata, and when the plant is under stress, when the root system is not completely developed or else unhealthy, this is the best method to feed the plant. Now let us see the harvesting, the final important harvesting. The good thing about chili is the more number of harvestings you do, the more number of flowers the plant will bloom. If you don't harvest your plant, the flower production will be reduced and the plant will be in dormant stage. So you have to harvest time to time. And if you prefer red chilies, you have to leave the matured chilies for a period of 1 week so that it turns into vibrant red color. So friends, this is about chili plant. And before the start of the video, I asked viewers a question. Is chili a fruit or a vegetable? The answer is chili is a fruit. It's not a vegetable. Botanist has termed chili as a fruit and it's not a vegetable. And this is my today's harvest, and the harvest is very fresh and it's purely organic. And these chilies, and trust me, these chilies taste very good. These are not so hot and these are not so mild. These are medium hot chilies and they are wonderful in taste. So friends, try to grow at least 1 or 2 chili plants. For a family of 4, 2 chili plants will be sufficient. And since chili is a perennial plant, you can continuously use the same plant for at least 2 to 3 seasons and you can enjoy the fruits. Friends, be organic, grow organic, and be healthy. Stay safe. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Happy gardening.